Hey guys, it's May December, it's me, and I'm back again with another review, and this time it's of 1982's Whodunit, also known as Island of Death. This movie, before we start, I remember having this on VHS many years ago when I lived with my mum when I was like 6, 7, putting the movie on from a really bad clamshell case, which basically was broken and damaged in different ways with like dust and all this all over it. And I remember the main concept of the movie, but I couldn't remember the actual story. And now I know why. So anyway, the movie is about a group of actors that go to this island to film a very low budget movie, kind of like a murder mystery movie. And while they're there, one by one, they start getting killed off. Now it seems pretty basic and pretty, your standard norm. But when the killer kills somebody, they press play on the cassette player and have it like hanging from something or in the area, playing part of a song that basically is how the person's going to get killed. So if it goes chop your face, it means that the person's going to get basically a knife to the face. If it says I'm going to nail you, I'm going to nail you, it means normally a nail gun is going to be shot on. Now, I wish I could tell you all the characters' names, but sadly, the movie's so forgettable in that sense that you don't really know the characters. The only character I know and remember is a character called BJ, which was the girl. And to be honest with you, I only remember her because she was through it most of the movie. Now, there's a character in it called Mr. Flem. And to be honest with you, I can see why he was called Mr. Flem because he was very perverted and he was hoping to get some action when no one else wanted to have action with him. So yeah, Mr. Flem's quite a clever name on the words. One of the actresses in it before the filming started had damaged her foot, so she goes around in the movie on crutches instead of walking normally, which I thought was pretty cool actually because she didn't lose the role, but at the same time it added to her character. Now, if you want to talk about characters, you've got your standard. You've got the nerdy guy, the girl who likes sleeping with everybody. You've got the girl who judges everybody. You've got the hard case guy, kind of like the Looney Toony kind of guy, who basically, is mentally unstable. You've got the jock kind of guy. It's very paint by numbers. One of the biggest problems with this movie, if you ask me, is the fact is you see all the kills through a POV shot. So basically you're seeing through the killer's eyes. But you're not seeing through the killer's eyes. I'll give you an example. So you're walking up to the killer's walking up to somebody to kill, and you see them, and they go like this, and then it cuts away. Most of the kills are off camera, which is annoying. The first kill, which is like, let's say, being shot, you see that, but you don't see any real impact from it. And the problem from this movie is there is no impact on the kills. Really, I mean, you get a couple like people getting like someone getting burnt to death in the shower from acid coming out of the shower head and stuff like that. And yeah, that's great and all, right? But that's not a kill scene being killed by a killer. There is one kill scene with a chainsaw, which really is gory. Not as gory as it could be, but gory enough where you're like, oh, thank God, this is happening in the movie because I'm starting to get bored. Now, the lighting in the movie is very dark because most of it is people running around the island in the pitch black, and you can imagine on the VHS it was even worse. But in this, you can see more because of the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, but at the same time, you can't really see as well as you wish you could because of the lighting of when they were doing the movie. The characters run around for basically, let's see, how long is it? About the last 40 minutes of the movie. They're running around, going from place to place, leaving each other, doing the silly things. And like I said, it feels like a paint by numbers slasher from the early 1980s because it came out in 1982. But it feels like it saw all these other slashers and went, oh, we can do that. Let's put it on an island. Let's do it this way. And it doesn't work. I mean, it's not a bad film by any means. I mean, there's no real sex in it either, which is a big no-no. If you want a good slasher, you've got to get some sex in there. I mean, proper sex. Like you see nudity and stuff, that kind of sex, right? But you don't really see much in this movie. There's like, I'm trying to say things without spoiling the movie, because I know that when you watch this, you're going to go, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad. It's not as bad as he says it is. But then in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 years from now, you'll forget about the movie because it's extremely forgettable. You know, it's like you see these two guys are constant argument with each other, and you're like, okay, so these two people they don't get along. Probably one of them's the killer, probably one isn't. You know, and then it kind of doesn't. Then it kind of just leads to them just arguing all the time and trying to hurt each other throughout the movie. But one thing I did like about the movie, if I'm honest, is I did like the little twist at the end, why it was happening, what the real goal of the film was, and the trip to the island. I did enjoy that part, but I feel like in a lot of ways it was a little bit too late. Like I feel like they could have done a lot more with that instead of it just being like, oh yeah, let's show this at the end. Because, like I said, the special effects are not too bad when they're actually used. And there are some good practical effects. There are some good red herrings in the sense that, like, the estate person who's cooking for them and lives at the place threatens to kill them and all this stuff. And you obviously know deep down that that's a red herring. But it's pretty good and creepy. And those bits are really good. But the movie itself just seems like one of those really low budget slashers that came out but didn't have the complete right effects, didn't have the right kind of acting, even though the acting is fairly good. It does kind of is inconsistent and kind of goes up and down depending on who's acting on the screen. But I do think it's a movie that if you saw cheap, you should watch just because of the difference in the way the killer kills people with the cassette player playing the song and everything, as he's killing them with the lyrics that go along with it. I do like that bit, and I do think the movie is an okay movie. I just feel like it's a very forgettable movie, and I feel like if you really wanted to watch it, you could. Vinegar Syndrome released it in America. I don't know if it's released anywhere else in the world. But yeah, it's kind of forgettable. But if you really want to watch it, you just won't be as impressed with it as, something like My Bloody Valentine or Halloween or any of those other kind of movies, because you don't get enough character development and you just feel like they're there to be killed. Anyway, so I'd give it a rating of 1.5. And I would say if you got a chance and you see it cheap, give it a go, but don't expect anything special from it. Because at the end of the day, it's a really low budget horror movie with some good effects. And I think some people will really like it. But me, I thought it was okay. If you watched the movie, let me know down below what you thought of it. I'd like to hear your opinions and your views of the movie. And if you haven't and you're going to, let me know after you've actually seen it. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. As always, please hit the red button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.